ready? It was a Saturday in July. My friend decided to come over because he thinks that I actually enjoy his company. So, when he got to my house, he suggested that we go to the mall. And I said, no, I don't want to. So when we got to the mall, we saw a stage where the mall was hosting a freestyle rap contest. And today would be the day that the mall decides to host a freestyle rap contest. My friend suggested that I go onto the stage and lay down some of my sick beats. And I said, no, I don't want to. So I went onto the stage and I started rapping. I met her in the club. I told her what is up. I took her to the crib and I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. The crowd looked at me as if they were damaged for life. And my friend said, bruh, I'm white and I'm more gangster than you. And I said, well, what makes you think I want to be a gangster? He said, you're black, show some heart. And I thought, wow, he's really stupid. But he wasn't stupid. He was just ignorant. And isn't that what our society has become today? We, the nation with the most cultural diversity, have a very big problem when it comes to understanding and accepting other cultures. We misinterpret the values and ideals of so many cultures by associating a black face with thug mentality or Latinos with illiteracy. But unfortunately, it seems that we are all suffering from cultural illiteracy. E.D. Hirsch coins the term cultural literacy as the knowledge of history, contributions, and perspectives of different cultural groups, including one's own. We, the American people, need to be culturally literate. But to fully understand the impacts of cultural ignorance, first, we gotta get gangsta by rolling through its causes. Then we'll get turned and examine its effects. And then finally, we finna get down with some solutions. You feel me? Alright, now first off, I learned all of my rapping skills from my brother from another mother, Tupac. And even though he's a rapper, well, I just so happen to be a better ladies man. When being dominated by cultural ignorance, the media has a great impact. For example, in black culture, many of today's youth are influenced by thug culture in modern rap music. Sebastian L. Kobe, author of the company Rap Rehab, conducted an experiment that tested the minds of black youth. And he discovered that the majority of boys say that rap music has taught them that girls cannot be trusted. And the overwhelming majority of incarcerated youth say that they listen to gangsta music to pump them up to get high or to commit a crime. The influence of criminality in some rap music on today's black youth has caused so many people to feel that every black teenager is a criminal. With that said, 2 days after making a fool of myself at the mall, I went to my dad and asked him if being a gangster was the only way that I can show that I was black. And then he grabbed me by my shoulders and said, son, you've got to get some gangster in you. However, rap music isn't the only causation of cultural ignorance. What is shown in our films also plays a significant role in the mentality of Americans. For instance, there are some pretty absurd misunderstandings about the Muslim or Arab culture. So many people are so quick to assume that all of them are terrorists. And we have Western films to thank for that. Nicole Argo, a graduate psychology student at the New School for Social Research, discovered that in a survey of 900 American films that contained Arab characters, almost all of them were depicted as outright racist or jokes. Positive normalizing images of ordinary Arab people are almost non-existent in Western mass media. The only Muslims that you see in the movies are terrorists. These dangerous portrayals are plaguing the mentality of Americans because they are taking what they view in the big screen and letting it influence how they view people. Nonetheless, after my dad told me that I need to get a little bit of gangsta in me, I went to my idiotic friend and asked him what he thinks I should do. And he said, bruh, if you want to be more gangsta, maybe you should braid your hair. And then I thought, well, if you think that's possible, how much stupider can you get? Apparently, a lot. Unfortunately, the effects of cultural ignorance are far more damaging than suggesting an impossible hairdo. Some of these effects have led to violence. Mint Press News, a news source that focuses on Islamic culture, tells us a sad story. Salma is a 16-year-old girl in San Francisco who hopes to be a doctor someday. But every day when she goes to school, girls would call her a Bin Laden whore. They'd shove her against lockers, ask her, what bomb would you use to blow up the school? Because she's Muslim. Guys would abuse her physically and sexually, pull down her hijab, the bandage she wears over her head, because they think she's a threat. Salma states that this is what I am forced to put up with on a daily basis because I am Muslim and the media makes people think we are evil. However, this hasn't just affected Salma's life. It's also affected my life. Two of my cousins and I were once at the mall. We were wearing hoodies in the rain. And while walking out of the parking lot, 4 security guards crowded around us and told us that they saw us looking into cars suspiciously. And that if we didn't want to go to jail, we had to leave right now. And I thought, what evidence do these security guards have to assume that we were trying to do anything criminal? These security guards assumed that these 3 black males were thieving gangsters rather than hard-working honors students. And you see, there is a problem when in the media, they'll show you the criminal Latinos, but they don't show you the hard-working Latino immigrants that are willing to sell fruit to make sure their children don't starve. When they'll show you the Muslim terrorists, the Muslim criminals, but they don't show you the Muslims in the American army fighting for justice just like everyone else. When they'll show you the black thugs, the black gangsters, but they don't show you the hard-working and persevering young black male trying to get his education. When every single week, another unarmed black person is beaten or killed by the cops because of a misunderstanding. It makes us look like failures as Americans. These effects, they can happen to your children, your grandchildren, your nieces and nephews, unless we do something about it now. We all have an obligation. Each and every one of you in this room have an obligation. And what is that obligation? Well, in an attempt to be more black, I decided to buy a bunch of hats and then wear them backwards. That way, I was an undeniable thug. We all need to become thugs in action. And here's how we do it. In January of 2015, the California State Legislature passed a bill requiring all California public high schools to offer an ethnic studies class. We need to teach our kids the values of other cultures. That way, they're less likely to take what they see in the media and let it influence how they view people. And yo, how about them parents? Well, also in an attempt to be more black, I decided to sag my pants. And then my mom slapped me and told me that instead of representing my race, I was being a disgrace. We need our parents to step up to the plate. Teach your children the values of other cultures, whether that means monitoring what they view in the media, forcing them to take an ethnic studies class, or making sure they associate with a diverse group of people. And you see, that's the problem. That is the cause. The reason for cultural ignorance is that growing up, so many people don't associate with people outside of their ethnicity. America is not a country of just one race. What makes us so great is that we are a country composed of multiple racial groups. That's what makes us people. That's what makes us Americans, and that is what makes us awesome. But we often forget that. And every time a tragedy happens because of cultural ignorance, we become less awesome. But we can end these tragedies that are a result of cultural ignorance. Yes, we can. But it all starts with you, and with you, and with everyone. We can be a tight nation. We just gotta get that gangster in us. We get that gangster in us, anything's possible. So today, we've discussed the problems, the effects, and some solutions to dealing with cultural ignorance. And you remember my friend, the idiot? Well, his stupid philosophies got him beat up by some real gangsters. Poor kid. And me, well, I determined that I suck at rapping. Now I'm about to bounce. But before I do, I want y'all to catch this. Imagining me with hair might be scarring. But imagine living in a nation that is truly indivisible with liberty and justice for all. Now that would be truly dope.